today's topic of discussion is say no to women. So there's only one word that you pretty much need in your vocabulary to have successful relationships with men and women, but in particular with women, and that is the word no. So I've highlighted it there as well for you guys. So no, right? That signals to a woman that this guy here, yeah, is somebody who doesn't tolerate any type of disrespect, and he has set standards for himself. So we're going to be discussing some key points to how to use the word no against women and how you can effectively filter out the women who are low quality and the women who are high quality. So first point is abundance. So guys who are of value, and let's say you're somebody who is trying to become the best version of himself. So you're trying to become the highest possible value man that you can be. Yeah? So saying the word no to pretty much 9 out of 10 women, yeah, signals to that woman, whoever you're speaking to, that it signals abundance. It lets her know, right, that this guy here, right, isn't willing to settle with the average girl. Because majority of women, right, they've got a lower amount of confidence, they've got a lower amount of self-esteem, and they've got anxiety. Do you understand? So if a guy is so desperate to get with her and is saying yes to her with regards to everything, what does that show you about that guy? It shows you that that guy can't get a woman at her level or higher. Yeah? So when you say to a woman no, right, so I don't think you fit into my standards, or you don't fit into my requirements, that lets a woman know, right, that he's saying no to her. You understand? So one of the most powerful effects on a woman is rejection. Yeah? This is what a lot of guys don't seem to mention in their videos, and they don't understand this concept. Yeah? Rejection to a woman is literally like kryptonite. It's like touching hot coal. Yeah? So you know when you touch hot coal, yeah, and you grab it, yeah, burns your hand. That's what it's like for rejection for women. Women can't stand that fact. So when they come across a guy, right, who has a lot of options and he's refusing to settle and he's saying no to her with regards to she's somebody who doesn't fit his requirements, that signals to that woman that this guy has got an abundance of options. Yeah? So that in and of itself is really attractive. Yeah? So if you was working for, let's say, a company, right, and that company offered you all of these privileges, all of these benefits, they gave you like a company car, you get to have as much food as you want, you get to go to all these restaurants, all inclusive, you get to go on all these holidays, and then that was on the company. That in and of itself is really, really attractive. Do you understand? So it signals to a woman, right, that this guy here isn't scarce when it comes to his everyday life. Yeah? So when a guy has an abundance of options, right, it lets a woman know that this guy here clearly performs well in other areas of life. So with regards to money, with regards to his relationships with family, with regards to relationships with dealing with everyday people. You understand? A guy who's got a scarcity mindset, that guy there is going to be equated to a guy who's really stingy. Yeah? A guy who's just scarce, a guy who's needy, a guy who is desperate, a guy who lacks options. These are all turn-offs to a woman. Yeah? So when you say the word no to a woman, right, with whatever she's saying, and that doesn't align with what you're trying to do. So let's say you're somebody who values hijab and values modest clothing, and you value a woman who doesn't, do dirty activity. Yeah? You value a virtuous woman. When you come across a woman who doesn't tick those requirements, you're effectively saying no to her. Yeah? That in and of itself, right, will tick hypergamy. Yeah? It will satisfy hypergamy in a woman because she knows full well, right, that this guy here has a set standard here and he's got multiple options. Do you understand, guys? So when you say no to that, right, that lets a woman know that this guy here isn't willing to just settle with her. So a lot of guys, as soon as they get with one woman, they straight away start becoming, obsessed with her. And this is what the problem is. So that leads us to the next point when it comes to standard. Yeah. From the get-go, whenever you're dealing with any woman, before you're even getting into a relationship, it's really important to have a set standard for yourselves. Yeah. Because a woman's got like 100 different things on her checklist. Yeah. About what she's looking for. She's looking for this guy here to be good looking, successful, got money, he's got fame, he's got he's got all this rubbish, yeah, that she's listed out. Now a lot of guys, they've only listed out a couple things. Oh yeah, she just needs to be good looking, okay looking, and he doesn't get no headache from her. This is what it is. This is what the problem is. You've got that imbalance there. Yeah. So guys need to have a set standard. So I'd say you need to have about at least between 5 to 10 major requirements that you need to have for a woman. Yeah. And then you've got your other optional list there. So I'll create another video about that as well, to how to navigate that and how to personalize that. So in that way there, you guys can have a set standard there anytime you're dealing with a woman. Yeah. Because it's really important to have a set standard for yourselves, because women by default are going to always come with a set standard. You guys need to realize that a woman here is trying to optimize hypergamy. And hypergamy is literally trying to find the best possible man she can get. You understand? So you as men of value, guys who are actually trying to level yourselves up, it's really important that you guys have a set standard as well. You know, because guys are getting into these relationships with these low quality women, and then they're just getting taken to the cleaners. This is what the problem is. Next point is power. So it lets a woman know, right, that you're in control of your own actions. Yeah. So if you're in a relationship with a woman and you're choosing to be in a relationship with her, and let's say she's saying, oh yeah, I want to go out to this party with all these different guys there. Yeah. And I want to do what I want. Yeah. I want to go drinking there. I want to socialize with my friends. And you say no to her. That lets a woman know, right, that this guy here has got set standard for himself and he's got self-respect for himself. Yeah. Now, you're not the type of guy to force a woman to comply, but these are your terms and conditions for that relationship. Now, if a woman wants to test that boundary and she wants to go to that party and mix with all them other guys there and drink alcohol, then tell her, feel free to leave. You can leave, and make sure when you come back, right, you pack your stuff and then you can exit out. So that's what it is. A woman can just literally pack her stuff and she can just leave. That's what it is. So that in and of itself, right, signals to a woman power, and you have power over yourself. Do you understand? Because a woman can't submit to you and a woman can't respect you if you don't have power over yourself. A lot of guys, right, as soon as they get into a relationship with a woman, right, they start giving all the power to the woman. Yeah. They start letting a woman do what she wants. She can go out on the streets, do all types of wild activities. Yeah. Go to different countries by herself. Just do all types of stupidness. Yeah. And the guys just give her more and more power to her each and every single day. Yeah. The woman's respect is going to naturally go down. Yeah. So when you say no to that, you say no to her BS. Yeah. That lets the woman know that, okay, I've got a real man here who's leading me. Because women are led by their emotions. Yeah. They need a solid, steady rock. A guy who can effectively make decisions for her. Logical decisions for her. Yeah. Now, that doesn't mean that you're controlling and somebody who's abusing her. But it just means that you're somebody who's leading that relationship. Yeah. Now, you have the option and give the option to the woman whether or not she wants to comply with your terms and conditions. If she doesn't, feel free to leave. And then the power's within you, and the power is back with you. Do you understand? You're not giving the power to the woman. Because if you give all the power to the woman in the relationship, the woman's going to end up despising you. But it's a woman's job to try and take the power away from you and try and take you off your purpose. Yeah? A lot of guys, they don't seem to understand this. Yeah? A woman's job is to get you on your A game. Yeah? So that means that if you're working on your purpose, right, you're doing all your things here, you're literally grinding day in, day out, and then she's pulling you away from that, yeah? When you're ignoring her and removing that distraction, yeah, that puts you on your A game when it comes to your actual purpose, because it knows that you are somebody who can say no to a woman. And then final point is submissive, yeah? So the woman will have no other choice but to be submissive to you, yeah? So submissive means somebody who follows the leader. So the leader in the relationship is the man, yeah? So she's happy to be submissive towards him because this guy can say no to her. So anytime she says anything crazy and wild, saying, oh yeah, I want to buy a Lamborghini or whatever, even though, let's say you got money and you're able to afford all these supercars, and then she turns around and says, oh yeah, I want a brand new Mercedes, can you get it for me? There's certain beta males who just end up giving her that. You know, what are you conditioning a woman when you're doing stuff like that? So these guys here, they start complaining. They start saying, oh yeah, you know, a woman's giving me headache. A woman's not listening to me. Well, every single time a woman shows bad behavior, you're not able to say no to her. This is what it is. So when a woman says something, yeah, and that is outrageous, and a woman, let's not get it twisted, yeah? Guys are so stupid certain times. Women are not dumb. Yeah, so a woman will deliberately certain times say something that's out of pocket, yeah, and deliberately say something which is gonna make you question yourself and whether or not you have the backbone and you have the masculine frame there to say no to her. Yeah, that by default will turn a woman on because she knows full well, right, this guy here says no to me, right, then he's not getting into my frame, yeah? So your masculine frame needs to be intact at all times, yeah? So then that way there, when a woman tests you on that, yeah, you say no to her. So she says, oh yeah, I want a Mercedes A-Class, brand new, or something like that, randomly, yeah? And you say no to her, that lets a woman know, okay, I've got a real man in this relationship. So just to wrap up, abundance, you guys want to have that mindset of saying no to predominantly all women, or at least 90% of them. Do you understand? Because that in and of itself, right, will filter out the low quality women. Yeah, so when you do come across that one woman or two women or however amount of women that's compatible with you, that woman there, yeah, will realize that this guy here has got other options. Yeah, he's not somebody who's needy and desperate to get into a relationship with her. Yeah, so you never force a woman to get into a relationship with you, and you never get a woman to please marry me, or, you know, in these stupid videos they're like, oh yeah, will you marry me? These guys here, these beta males getting on their one knee, yeah, it just shows you that these guys here are putting all them women on pedestals. Yeah, a woman's job is to try and lock you down in a relationship. Yeah, so she needs to be trying to push for it. So a woman will hint at it. She'll say, oh yeah, you know, when are we getting married? Or where do you see us going? Or, you know, are you somebody who sees a future with us? These are all kind of questions to hint to the guy that, oh yeah, she wants to have a relationship with him. She wants to get married. Or certain times a girl will say, oh yeah, you know, have you prayed istikhara for us? This is what some girls do as well. You understand? So the woman's ready for a relationship, but certain times goes back to it. You need to see your other options. And then the next point after that was standard, having a set standard. Yeah, because if you're providing all this value to the relationship, that in and of itself comes with a set standard. Yeah, because a woman who's coming into that guy's life, right, if she doesn't tick his standard and doesn't tick his requirements, he's better off being alone, isn't it? You know, but a lot of guys are so desperate to get into a relationship that they don't have no standard, and by default you're not going to get the respect of women. So this is really important, guys. You guys need to have a set standard anytime you're dealing with any woman. Yeah, so if you're trying to get into a relationship, yeah, just know that you need to have that set standard there for a woman to respect you. Otherwise she's not going to respect you. And the next point after that is power. So you have power over yourself, and you can only control the things that you can control. that's within your own hands. Yeah, you cannot force a woman to do something for you. You cannot get a woman to try and manipulate her. You see that manipulation type BS, yeah, that only works short term. Yeah, the woman ends up later on despising you. Yeah, because those manipulative guys, yeah, who do all types of manipulation on a woman, try and deliberately trigger a woman, yeah, and try and get her to, do all this stuff for him, the woman's going to eventually exit. Do you understand? So it's really important. You guys need to control the things that you can control. And then the woman sees that and she knows full well, this guy here has power and full power. Yeah? He's not giving the power to her. Yeah? So, and then the final point was submissive. Yeah? So submissive, for a woman to really be submissive, you have to say no to her certain times. Certain times she's going to end up testing the boundary. She's going to end up testing your rules and to see whether or not you've gone weak for her. When you've gone weak for a woman, that signals to the woman that this guy here is losing his power, he's losing his strength, he's losing control. Yeah, she feels unsafe in that relationship. That's why women eventually exit. They clock out. Yeah, they lose that attachment for that guy because that guy made that woman feel unsafe in that relationship. So for a woman to really be submissive, you have to say no to her at certain times. It's one of them ones there. It's just as how, you got a child and then you got a parent. Yeah, certain times the dad has to say no to the son or daughter. Yeah, that doesn't mean that you're, I'm not trying to compare, a son and a dad to a husband and wife. But I'm saying that's just an example there, So when it comes to you as a man, right, if you're leading the relationship and you're the leader in that relationship, there's going to be certain things that you're okay with and certain things that you're not okay with. So a woman needs to show good behavior in order for her to get more attention from you. As soon as she's showing bad behavior, as soon as she's showing not submissive behavior and not cooperation, she's not trying to cooperate with you, then you have to withdraw your attention from her. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.